If you're listening to this and you are expecting or hoping to one day have a baby, I cannot stress enough how important it is to take that time at a minimum.
Do you struggle to stay consistent with healthy eating and just want food decisions to be easy, guilt-free, and sustainable? You're in the right place. Hi, I'm Chelsea, nutritionist and fitness coach who overcame restrictive yo-yo dieting and body image insecurities using simple nutrition tools, all backed by biblical principles. And now I help women like you find that same freedom with food so you can feel confident in the look and health of your body for decades to come. I'm ready to dive in with you. So grab that cute notebook you've been hanging on to and let's go.
Hey sis, question for you. How consistent are you with healthy eating? Are you Miss Health and Fitness, counting macros all the time, never missing a day? Or are you a real woman with a crazy schedule, constantly making sure everyone else is taken care of, and lucky if you are sitting for an entire meal? It can be so frustratingly difficult to stay consistent when everything seems to get in the way, and by the time you get to take care of you, you're exhausted. So convenience wins yet again. Listen, it is totally possible to keep all the plates spinning and have consistency with healthy eating, which means a body you're actually proud of, not just tolerating. If you go to coachrain.com/dietfree and book a strategy session with me, I will create a custom plan that balances your lifestyle with your goals. Give me 1 hour of your time and you will walk away with an exact blueprint that takes the guesswork out of how to make healthy eating consistently part of who you are. Again, that's coachreign.com/dietfree. And I am so excited to help you find the consistency that gets you to confidence. And now, welcome to the show. Okay. I want to preface this entire episode by saying that I am writing about my postpartum experience while in the thick of it. My daughter is about 2 months old at the time of recording this, which means I am very lucky if I get 3 consecutive hours of sleep and a shower. So forgive me if anything comes across as dramatic, but at least you can know I'm speaking genuinely. Today is part 3 of 3, recounting essentially my journey into parenthood. If you missed the first 2 episodes about fertility, my pregnancy, and how I prepared for a natural birth, you can go back and listen to those episodes. They're numbers 73 and 74. But today, I am answering some questions I've received about postpartum. And really, they all pretty much have to do with my recovery protocol, what I'm doing for fitness, what I'm eating, things like that, along with some questions about the baby. So, let's dive in. Immediately after birthing our daughter in our living room, my midwives waddled me to my bed, and that is where I stayed for the next 5 days. I pretty much followed the 5-5-5 rule, which, if you're unfamiliar, that's 5 days in the bed, 5 days on the bed, and 5 days near the bed. I personally ended up doing more of a 5-4-3 sequence. But sis, if you're listening to this and you are expecting or hoping to one day have a baby, I cannot stress enough how important it is to take that time at a minimum. In some places in the world, it's customary to spend a full 30 days in bed with your baby. Now, speaking as an achiever who likes to feel productive, this was exceptionally difficult for me. But a couple of things that helped me in the process, at least mentally. First, pregnancy and childbirth are major events on the body. In a matter of a day, you go from housing a 7-pound human along with all of their fluids and the placenta, which is an entire organ that you grow just to house the baby, to being empty of all of that with great effort. They say that your now empty uterus is a wound the same size as a dinner plate. Your body most certainly needs time to heal, to move your organs back into place, all that jazz. Knowing that fact really helped me give myself some grace. And the second thing that really helped me mentally was remembering that at no other point in my life is it acceptable, even expected, to do absolutely nothing except care for my baby. And those days go by quick and you never get them back. So take advantage of that window of rest while you can. So those first 5 days, I was literally bedridden, spoon-fed by my husband, only getting up to go to the bathroom. I mean, I couldn't even sit up on my own, and it was actually quite painful to sit at all. Then on about day 6, I started my on the bed part of recovery. I could sit up a little bit more comfortably, so I didn't need to be spoon-fed anymore, but my husband still brought everything to me as I needed. Then after about 4 days of that, I left our bedroom for the first time. And now we have a small bungalow of a house. It's all one level. So I could sit in the living room or grab something from the kitchen and pretty much always be within steps of my bed. And we don't have any stairs. So that's why I broke the 5-5-5 rule a bit early. It wasn't until about week 4 that I started doing any sort of exercise, and I started with pelvic floor exercises. We're talking lots of bird dogs, dead bugs, glute bridges, pelvic tilts, your standard list of boring breathing exercises that you can find on Pinterest that actually do make a massive difference. I also started going for really short walks at that point. I started with just a walk around the block, and then 10 to 15-minute walks, and just continually progressed as it felt good. After my 6-week appointment at the midwife, where she checked my tearing and diastasis just to make sure I was healing well, that's when I started more of a workout routine with weights and short distance running. I literally have 45 minutes to an hour while my husband watches the baby to do a little workout in our driveway, and that's really what I've been doing. It's been hugely humbling, especially thinking about what I was lifting before pregnancy. But again, I believe the Lord closed the door on CrossFit and high-intensity workouts for me for a reason. And so I am focusing on getting to know this new body of mine, which admittedly feels really foreign, especially at the end of pregnancy and early postpartum. So I'm really trying to continually give myself grace in this season. Now let's talk nutrition. I think this is actually where I'm thriving. It was remarkable to me how instantly my appetite changed upon giving birth. I went from basically no appetite because at the beginning of my pregnancy, I had a lot of aversions. I was exceptionally sick, very nauseous for the majority of my pregnancy, really. And then at the end, I just felt so full all the time, to giving birth and almost being ravenous with no more aversions. Praise the Lord. So immediately postpartum, during that 5-5-5 phase, I almost exclusively ate soup that I had prepared before the birth. I cannot recommend this enough to any expecting mamas out there. Good, hearty broth is one of the most nutrient-dense substances you can have, and you need all of the energy you can get to heal and produce milk to feed your baby. Broth and soups are super easy to digest, and nutrients are readily available with that. What you don't want to do is have a bunch of raw vegetables, like a salad, or fried food, or sugary things. Those are much harder to break down, and obviously fried food and sugary things cause inflammation, which is the opposite of healing. So I lived on soup, with the exception of a poke bowl day, courtesy of my husband. And around that 4-week mark, I started cooking again, making diamond meals as best as I could with one arm while holding my baby in the other arm. And whenever people asked if they could bring me food, I always accepted, still do, but I usually requested one of those warming foods that I just mentioned. Something you can heat up and eat with one hand, like a casserole, the soups and stews. It's absolutely key. And that's mostly what I've been doing up until this point. Gradual entry into weightlifting and some very light cardio, plus warming foods leading to proper diamond meals. And, while I am sleep deprived and I have new aches and pains from breastfeeding and prolonged periods of holding my child, I do actually feel really great. I think I skid right over any sort of postpartum depression. Not to say there haven't been some sad days where I wonder why we wanted to do this, and quite frankly, the thing that makes me the most sad to think about is missing my husband, because in an instant, we went from spending time together to almost working in shifts. One of us watches the baby while the other one gets things done, and then we switch. That really has been the only thing that's made me rather emotional. And quite frankly, I think taking care of your nutrient depletion during pregnancy and postpartum plays a huge role in balancing those hormones as they come crashing down. If you are listening while pregnant, or maybe you know someone who is, and you want to chat through a specific plan for your postpartum recovery, especially nutritionally, please schedule a coaching call with me. I cannot tell you how much my knowledge about nutrition has been a game changer in my recovery period, and I want to share that wisdom with you so that you can be fully equipped for a smooth postpartum journey. Because trust me, everything else in your life will be rocked once baby comes. So having a plan tailored to you that you don't even have to think about is truly life-saving. You can book your coaching call with me at coachrain.com/dietfree. And let's make sure you are confident in how to take care of you so that you can take care of baby.
I pray this episode was helpful to you, my friend. If so, could you do me a massive favor and take 30 seconds to write a review? This is the best way to bless me big and help more people learn just how simple eating healthy consistently can be. And if you want more value-packed info from me, head to coachrain.com and sign up for the Weekly Harvest, my weekly emails filled with recipes, how to use food as medicine, biblical nutrition, and more. That's coachreign.com for the Weekly Harvest. Blessings until next time, sis. Toodles.